Before deciding we were doing the Pop Sugar Reading Challenge 2015, which I talked about in a video the other day, I'll link it below, I decided that this would be the year that I finish reading all the books that I've started. I have a serial habit of starting books, reading first 5 or so chapters and then just putting them down, getting distracted by something else. It's not that I don't enjoy them, usually I'm actually really enjoying them and loving them, but I just am so easily distracted by any new book that I then put it down and just start another one. So I thought I will show you my books that I've started. I've just gone through my shelves quickly now and I've found 14 books I think that I've started and haven't finished. I'll show you them now, and by the end of the year I can look back and see if I actually bothered to finish any of them. I'm going to get this one out of the way first because it's actually the most... I'm ashamed, to be honest. I'm a bad person, guys. This is a very, very, very overdue library book. I'm a bad person. I'm not even going to... It's a few years overdue. I really enjoy Noel Coward's plays. I've actually read most of it. It's got 3 plays in it and then 3 short 1-act plays. I've read 2 of the big plays and all of the short 1-acts. So there's literally just 1 play in here that I haven't read. And because of that I haven't taken it back. And I kept renewing it and then I just forgot, and then... I'm going to finish it this year and I will take it back to the library and I will post it through the door and run away because I'll be too embarrassed to go and give it to them. So the next one is So You Want to Be in Musicals by Ruthie Henshaw and David Bowling. If you don't know, this is Ruthie Henshaw. Sometimes she looks like this. She's a musical theatre actress that I love, so I bought this just because she'd written it, just to see what stories there were and stuff in it. Maybe in another life I would have liked to be in musicals. I still would have liked to be in musicals, but it's not really my career that I'm destined to have. But yeah, I've read 50% of this maybe, and then I lent it to someone who had it for years, so partly not my fault. I've really got to stop lending people books that I haven't even finished. Number 3 is We Are at War. I absolutely love this book and I'm loving it, and I've gotten this far into it. It's just, there is a lot of text on the pages and I'm just a bit slow, and it's all diaries from the war. So there's not really like a story running through it, it's just 5 different people's accounts of just being an ordinary person in the war, which is why I find it fascinating, but at the same time, although I'm loving it, I'm just going really slowly with it. And it's also had an incident with the rain. It's really tatty, but I'm getting there. Number 4, How to Bag a Jabberwock. I bought this at LFCC because we happened to know the author, and we didn't know he was an author because we knew him as a gin man. It turned out Gin Man. And I went up to him and I was like, "Are you the gin man?" And he's like, "Yes, I am the gin man. Why do you know me as the gin man?" But yeah, a gin man wrote this and we bought this book and I read half of it maybe? I think I've read even more. Okay. The bookmark is here. So really, I only had a few more chapters to go. Number 5. The selected works of T.S. Spirit. My main problem with me not reading this is that I tend to read on public transport. The majority of what I read is on public transport. This is not a suit, although I love it because it's so bendy. When you can do that, love it. It's just ginormous. I can't. It's bigger than my head. I can't fit it in my bag, so I can't really carry it around with me. But it is stunning, and I have started a little bit of it. I think I got to about... I've barely broken into it. I really want to get into it, I just don't really read at home, so... Number 6, the Downton Abbey Rules for the Household Staff book. It's as if it's written by Carlson, which is adorable. I really like, history-wise, I really like just how normal people lived. I'm not into how walls were made and how revolutions start and everything. I just like to know how people lived and how they got on with their day-to-day lives. So I'm actually quite enjoying it. I have quite a few of the companion Downton Abbey books, but this has been one of my favourites because it is literally just it's been taken from various servant manuals and put together, like particular notes pertaining to the care of top hats. It's just how to look after stuff if you were working at Downton, so it's just a bit of interesting social history. 6 is the Primus Team Brody. I am on page 23. I don't really do bookmarks, so I tend to just pick up things that I find. This was actually my sister's copy when she was doing it for A-level, and she was using a playing card as a bookmark, and I thought it was really cool, so I just kept it in there. But yeah. Again, I'm enjoying it. I don't know why I keep stopping, and it's not even like it's a big book. Number 8 is back on the history theme again. It's a book about land girls. I have read about this much, so not a lot. Again, it's a book I'm going to enjoy, but I just need to sit down and just actually read it and not get distracted. Number 9, Sally Hughes' Pretty Honest. I've read random selections of this because it's a book about makeup and beauty and making yourself look pretty. Because it's a light coloured hardback, and I'm just waiting. If I take it in a bag, 1, it's heavy, 2, it's just going to get really filthy. So it's kind of just one to dip in and out of every now and again. But I would like to finish reading it. Then we have Lady Almina, the real Downton Abbey. It's one of the Countesses of Carnarvon who lived at Highclere Castle, which is where Downton's filmed. It's also the lady who was around in the time period that Downton's based in. Again, on the strange bookmarks, we have a ticket receipt for it's for the Victorian Albert Museum wedding dress collection. So, like, anything that's in my bag then turns into a bookmark, and then I stop reading the book. More history, How to Be a Victorian. I really, 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 really love this book and have been keeping little bookmarks for information for later use. Although the bookmarks look like I've read the back, I haven't actually read the middle section of this book. So that's one to definitely finish off soon. It basically runs through the day of a Victorian, so it starts with them waking up, going to have breakfast, getting dressed, washing, goes through childcare, clothing, and then finishes on going to bed and bedtime stuff. Then we have Mr. Penumbra's 24-hour bookstore. I've read a very small amount of this. I took it on holiday. It wasn't a holiday, I was cat sitting for someone. With the full intention of reading it while I was there, and then did not read it at all. So that's that one. Well, I did, because this is the thing about... I read like 3 chapters maybe, but one day. This one I started when I was at uni. It's called Bread of Heaven. As you can tell, it's Welsh themed. It's a book about a guy who, his parents are Welsh, so he's of Welsh heritage, but he doesn't actually feel Welsh because he's lived in England most of his life. So he goes and does all the things that try and make him Welsh, like learning Welsh language, mining, playing rugby, all the good Welsh stuff, joining the male voice choir. This one actually has a proper bookmark. How fancy is that? I'm about a third of the way, maybe nearly halfway. Again, I love this as well because I can relate to being Welsh but not really Welsh. But I just stopped. And then finally, the daddy of all my started but never finished books is, and it's a running joke, Anna Karenina. This book, ow, it really hurt because it's actually like a brick. I don't know why I did that. I started this, it must have been 3 years ago, 4 years ago. It's coming on for 4 years, I reckon. Maybe it's 3.5. Yeah, and I used to just carry this around in my bag and just read it on the bus and stuff. Like, what was I thinking? This thing weighs a ton. I have read, and I know this because it's been on my Goodreads for ages, I have read 38% of this book. And although I am really enjoying it, it's just such hard work that I kind of just gave up on it a bit. Because it's Russian, the character names, I just can't get them on my head, so I don't know who anyone is apart from Levin, who's always stood in the blooming field. My goal for this year, if I don't do anything, is to finish this book. Wish me luck, guys. Oh! Yeah. 2012 this ticket says, so that was in there, so that was probably when I was last reading. In fact, there's more tickets in here. Oh look, yeah. July 2012. Jessica's bookworm club. That was a thing I went and saw. I had a coughing fit in the middle of it. It was really embarrassing because it was a really small venue.